It is 0 hour 30, Universal Time. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. Rescue workers in Indonesia continue to search for survivors of a powerful earthquake that hit the island of Java Saturday. Indonesian officials say more than 4,600 people were killed. Most of the deaths were reported in Yogyakarta province. Rescue workers say several towns were almost completely destroyed. Hundreds of smaller earthquakes continue to shake the province. Medical workers say they are struggling to care for thousands of injured people and for hundreds of thousands whose homes were destroyed. The heads of the East Timor government are preparing to meet to discuss solutions to the violence in the capital Dili. President Shanana Gusmao and Prime Minister Mari Atikari will meet Monday. They are to discuss ways to end the violence caused by former soldiers and government forces. The unrest began last month when 600 soldiers were dismissed from the military after they reported unfair treatment. For the past 3 days, rioters have burned buildings and attacked people in the capital. More than 27 people have been killed in the violence. Tens of thousands are seeking safety in Christian centers, foreign embassies, and the airport. Israeli warplanes have attacked Palestinian and Lebanese targets in Lebanon. The attacks killed a member of Hezbollah and a Palestinian militant. 2 Lebanese citizens were injured. The Israeli air attacks hit areas near Beirut, in the Bekaa Valley, and along the Lebanese border. They followed a rocket attack against Israel by militants in Lebanon. During the air attacks, Israeli troops clashed with Hezbollah fighters in a disputed border area. 2 Israeli soldiers were wounded. Several hours later, United Nations peacekeepers in Lebanon said all sides had agreed to a ceasefire. Iraqi officials say gunmen have killed tribal leader Sheikh Osama Jadan and one of his guards. Sheikh Jadan and other tribal members had helped American troops fight resistance forces along Iraq's border with Syria. The men were killed in an attack in Baghdad. Also in Baghdad, bomb explosions have killed 3 people and wounded 17 others. The attacks took place as Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki held private talks with lawmakers. He is seeking to reach agreement about ministers for the Interior and Defense ministries. Iran's supreme leader says his country will not stop work on its disputed nuclear program. Iranian television reported Ayatollah Ali Khamenei as saying Iranian scientists have guaranteed Iran's energy security with their successes in nuclear science. He said stopping their work would mean a complete loss. In Tehran, Russian National Security Chief Igor Ivanov met with Iran's nuclear negotiator Ali Larijani. News reports say Mr. Ivanov has called for diplomacy as the way to end the dispute concerning Iran's nuclear activities. He is expected to discuss possible economic offers to Iran if it will stop enriching uranium. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. The political party of Burmese democracy activist Aung San Suu Kyi says it will appeal a decision by Burmese officials to extend her house arrest. Officials from the National League for Democracy say they will take the legal action within days. They say the extended sentence violates the law and harms efforts for national unity. Burma's military government announced on Saturday that it is extending for 1 year the house arrest of the democratic leader. Aung San Suu Kyi's earlier sentence was to end on that day. Alvaro Uribe has been elected again as the President of Colombia. About 85% of the votes have been counted from the election Sunday. Mr. Uribe has 62%. Opposition candidate Senator Carlos Gaviria has 22%. The voting was peaceful. More than 200,000 troops were deployed to maintain order during the elections. Voter studies showed that a majority of Colombians support Mr. Uribe's economic improvements. They also support his position against the country's largest rebel group, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. Thousands of motorcycle riders have visited Washington, D.C. in a parade known as Rolling Thunder. They were honoring missing American soldiers and those still held as prisoners of war. The motorcycle riders then visited the Vietnam Veterans Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial. Rolling Thunder takes place every year on the day before the Memorial Day holiday. Memorial Day honors members of the United States military who fought in the nation's wars. In France, British director Ken Loach has won the top prize in the competition known as the Cannes Film Festival. The film is called The Wind That Shakes the Barley. It is about the struggle for Irish independence in the 1920s. Other winners include Mexican director Alejandro González Iñárritu, the female actors in the Spanish film Volver, and the actors in the film Days of Glory. In sports news, American race car driver Sam Hornish has won the famous car race known as the Indianapolis 500. Mr. Hornish passed the car driven by 19-year-old Marco Andretti in the final part of the race to take the lead. He won by a distance of just over 1 car length. Marco Andretti's father, Michael Andretti, was third. Reports are calling the victory the second closest win in the history of the famous race in the city of Indianapolis, Indiana. About 250,000 people watched the race this year at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And now, briefly, here again is the major news of the hour. Rescue workers in Indonesia are searching for survivors of an earthquake that struck the island of Java Saturday. The heads of the East Timor government are preparing to meet to discuss ways to end the violence in the capital, Dili. And the supreme leader of Iran says his country will not stop work on its disputed nuclear program. And that's the news in VOA Special English. From Washington, this is Jim Tedder reporting.